gosh, I didn't see the crowd. It's a nice crowd, yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's really an honor to be invited to read, and it was an honor also to be have the chance to read the submissions for this contest, this program. And I was telling Kihana it was actually a really hard choice, and I want first of all to just commend those of you, if there's anybody in the room that submitted, those of you that submitted. I know how hard that is actually, and I was just so blown away with the writing, and don't tell anyone. It's a small crowd. This is an insular crowd. I love reading undergraduate writing more than I love reading graduate writing. Undergraduates are the best, So really, so it's a real honor also to introduce Kihana Wilson. Kihana is third year in college from Houston, Texas, majoring in astrophysics with a minor in creative writing. She's involved in cosmology and astrophysics research at institutes here at the University of Chicago and at Stanford. Although she's pursuing a career in STEM, she has been a writer all her life. Her most frequent form is creative nonfiction, but she later plans to write speculative fiction and sci-fi novels. Outside of research and academics, she works part-time as a math instructor for Math Circles of Chicago and is a newly minted science writer for the Triple Helix. And in case all of you are now feeling kind of intimidated, it continues. Her hobbies and interests include martial arts, weightlifting, slam poetry, content creation, and science communication. She is passionate about many social and environmental justice issues, but hopes to use her platform for representation, advocacy, to help make science more accessible to underrepresented groups traditionally excluded from STEM fields. And I just wanted to add, I don't want to take away from Kihana's reading in any way, but I just wanted to add that when I was reading her essay, that what really blew me away is just the capaciousness of the spirit. There was this hunger to know, and there's this hunger to know about astrophysics, about queerness, about race, but also this really beautiful enthusiasm and hope, and that drew me. It's articulated in the language, in the spirit of the writing, and I was just so impressed. And I also had just this chance to speak with Kihana before the reading, and I'm just truly impressed by your spirit. So I will stop now and let you read. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a very beautiful introduction, and I told myself that I wouldn't get emotional. So here's to trying. I feel very honored to be here today, and the piece I'll be reading is a reflection on the organic relationship I developed with science from a very, very early age, and how I've used it to make sense of the world as I embody a multitude of identities, and also how I continue to lean on this relationship when I navigate academic and scientific spaces when there is severe underrepresentation, sometimes crushingly so. So this is The Universe is Not Dark. The cold Galveston salt water tugs gently at my feet as I sink ever so slightly into the lumpy shoreline. It's the sand grains. They climb the skin of my ankles, tickling the long hairs on my legs as I fill my lungs with a damp ocean air. The vastness of it all consumes me. I lift my eyes slowly, giving my mind time to register every detail. The sun rays shimmering on the dust-colored horizon where sky meets water, water that extends to the very limits of my peripheral vision, reminding me that even our most powerful telescopes are limited to the edges of the observable universe. The rhythmical lulls of undulating ocean waves smother the cacophony of worldly catastrophes, diminishing them to tiny trivialities for just this moment. They provide a megaphone to the truly cosmic affairs of space, stars exploding and spraying their entrails across time, galaxies crashing into one another, forming loud and flashy lifetime partnerships, literal power couples, black holes ripping apart Icarus-minded galaxies, too reckless to have ventured so close. I've always imagined the ocean and the sky to be mirrors of one another. So while I cannot quite reach space, I can taste the saltiness of its droplet particles. I can listen to its waves crashing, or as we physicists might say, destructively interfering, or see its waves constructively interfering to forward world-wiping tsunamis. I can feel it and vicariously transport myself to swim among the waves of space-time. I inhale deeply, pulling stardust into my body via the sand grains and feeling electrons rush through my veins, feeling the universe inside me. Sinking deeper into the shore, I imagine how every atom of which I am composed raced out of some supernova somewhere millions of light years away, just to ripple into me at my birth 21 years ago. Alas, they vibrate like little strings in sync with this ocean right now. This here, this feeling, is like the whirling waves of stars passing through our night sky, tantalizing our intellectual and spiritual hunger as we barely manage to catch faint glimpses of the mysteries just beyond our reach. This here is electricity that provides that extra pump to my heart every day to continue to reach for those mysteries anyway. The universe has never failed to incite such a rush within me. I have always been keenly sensitive to all kinds of matter. As an entity perceptive of light and all things made visible by it, I most directly experience the baryonic kind, the stuff we can experience with our five senses, the stuff of stars and galaxies and of ourselves. As a human, and a particularly sensitive one, I'm especially affected by the Homo sapien kind, for all the happy reasons and all the hopeless ones too. As an astrophysicist, however, I concentrate on the dark kind of matter. I play cosmic hide and seek with it, probing to understand how it came to be, how it's evolving, what it's composed of, and our place as living matter within it. Ironically, though, the first question I ever thought to ask of the universe was not how it came into being, not when it decided to be, nor even why it wanted to become. My first concern with the universe was not a curious and objective when, why, and how, the questions every burgeoning natural philosopher instinctively knows to ask before they even realize why they are asking them. No, my questions were intensely subjective. They were only concerned with my own when, why, and how. How did it come to be that I existed only in the liminal spaces? Why was I relegated to them? And when, if ever, could I escape into permanence and solidity? Where was the grandeur and the awe and the beauty of my blackness when, as far as I could tell, the entire universe was filled with it? In other words, my original motivations for studying the universe were selfish. It seemed to me the source from which I could draw meaningful, uncorrupted truths about not just everything and everyone everywhere, but from which I could also orient myself within it all. And I latched on resolutely to this notion. Soon it was just the universe in me, and we were marked from the beginning to be tried and tested for the duration of our lifetimes, just for existing. Not that I had the slightest understanding as to the extent of this the day in 5th grade, I picked up a book on the founding fathers of physics and resolved to continue their legacy. Galileo, Copernicus, Kepler. None of those men had anything on a little black girl from the hood. My family and neighbors were being brought before the court for heresy every hour. My ancestors had been lynched and burned at the stake for centuries, their ideas and knowledge and bodies suppressed and usurped. It seemed that they had endured nothing unfamiliar to me in their quest to uncover cosmological truths. So what had I to be afraid of? Today, my confidence in the universe's credibility to guide me in search for understanding has not wavered. Out of fear, out of awe, out of dire existential necessity, I continued to search for answers in the stars. Many people speak of having a personal relationship with their God. Well, I've been in conversation with the universe since I was 10 years old. Time and gravity were the concepts that had always incited within me the most fervor in those early years. I had never to venture further than Einstein's special and general theories of relativity, and I quickly learned in these independent studies that time is inherently meaningless to the universe itself. Time is a human construct, built for human structure and human understanding. So what did I do in a universe with no time? I grew stronger. Literally, in the absence of time, gravity is at its strongest, Relativity 101. Over the course of the past decade, I felt more deeply. I felt more empathy, more compassion, more patience. I felt deeper pain, deeper remorse, deeper disdain. Everything you could ever possibly feel has more gravity. This is why, I suppose, I never needed a God to fill in all the gaps the universe left for me. I found, with the arresting of time, I could fill them in for myself. And I did, for if I had not, it would have been the timelessness, not the gravity, of my circumstances that would have inevitably suffocated me. It would be the timelessness of my fight to justify my existence in this world, and my discipline, that could still erode me down to sand grains at any given moment, sweeping me into the ocean of worldly suffering and personal injustices. My only out being the consistent internalization of the gravity of what I have now and of what is possible. All this time, I've been demanding explanations from the universe to validate my own existence within a tiny, yet morbidly narcissistic world, which at every turn threatens to crush me. All the while, the universe's radio silence has given me the ability to hear my loud, breathing, fiery power. Its standoffishness has instilled within me an appreciation for my brightness and color and awesomeness, which I've always projected onto it instead of reserving for myself. Its blackness has reflected back at me the proof of my permanence, solidity, and worth. I am omnipresent. My blackness and loudness and queerness has always existed, everywhere and everywhen. Thus, in my vague exchanges with the universe, here are the few discoveries I've made. 1. The universe is not dark, for darkness implies emptiness, danger, mystery. The universe is none of those things. It is full of life. It is delightful and wondrous. It is self-evident. The universe is not dark. It is just black. To my fellow dark matter scientists, none of whom are in this room, my sincerest condolences. 2, the universe is loud and breathing and inexplicably powerful. 3, the universe is queer. It is bright and colorful and awesome and doesn't need to provide us with answers about its ongoings and intimacies just to make us feel more comfortable and satiate our curiosity. Yet, 4, studying the universe matters. I, a queer black woman, am not new to the science of studying the universe. This science is my blood right. The universe is within me. The universe is me. And this universe is not dark. This universe is not silent. This universe is not weird. It just is. Thus, studying the universe is my reclamation. Studying the universe is my reparations. Studying the universe is not at the expense of my blackness or queerness or womanhood. Studying the universe is in support of all of my blackness and all of my queerness and all of my womanhood. Studying the universe matters, not for it and not just for science, but for me. Thank you.